It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And also, we have the Merman, who just happens to be wearing a Deadpool t-shirt. Are you super stoked about Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds joining forces in the new Deadpool movie, which is coming out who cares when?
Maximum effort, baby.
I don't know what that means. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
I heard a rumor that
I heard a rumor.
Yeah,
I heard a rumor. They say you had a broken heart.
Hugh Jackman was inside Ryan Reynolds in this movie.
I don't know what that means.
So that, what does that make you think, listeners?
That's right.
That he's inside him.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Like emotionally?
No, physically. I think he stabs him with his claws.
It was like an Ant-Man kind of thing.
Gotcha. Oh,
Ant-Man kind of
what?
thing. I don't even know what that means.
He just better not grow full size when he's up Ryan Reynolds' rectum.
We'll have to
That's
wait
all
and
I
see.
want to say.
He's in Ryan Reynolds' rectum?
Possibly. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie,
I don't know what you're talking about.
but I'm looking forward to him being inside Ryan Reynolds.
This all sounds like jibber jabber to me.
Yep. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining a membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see it. And we will. If it played anywhere in the world in a cinema and it's not a children's movie, we'll watch it. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
I don't know what the hell Bryce is doing.
That's giving you the thumbs up.
I don't know what you were doing.
Not just one, thumbs
Yeah, I
up.
know.
2 thumbs up, Merman.
Confuse the crap out of me.
Will he predict a mundo for the movies that we saw at the theaters last week? Will the amazing Murman predict? What will the amazing Murman predict? Here he comes swimming to you.
I really hate that so much. Okay. Well, in an odd stroke of luck, I
Okay.
actually saw 2 out of the
What?
Well, Jim and I had a date night because
We did.
a certain somebody bailed on us.
Stood me up, and he doesn't like me watching movies by myself in the theater all
Exactly.
alone.
I watched all the movies one of them by myself
Yeah,
all
but
alone.
you're always like that.
Yeah, you're a
And
loner.
The other one, they had like some weird, it was like $4.50 to go to the movie. It was crazy.
Well, Cineplex has $5 movies on Tuesdays.
Yeah, no, it was $4.50 because I was a Cineplex whatever.
Well, there you
member.
go.
Superstar.
For a non-member, it's only $5.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that's what I told you last week. The whole month of February, it's $5 movies at Cineplex.
But he usually works
But
on
it's also
Tuesdays.
two Tuesdays in February. Landmarks also doing the same thing.
I didn't know that.
What?
Yesterday and 2 weeks from now.
Well,
Then there
you know
go.
what? Another week next week, we're also not going to see movies together. So this,
That's right.
I don't know how much longer I can take this, not seeing a movie
I
with
know.
Bryce. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. So
And I'm kind of indifferent to it.
there's
So.
3 movies on here.
Yes.
The first one,
What's
Jim
it
and I did
called?
see.
Which is called?
Lisa Frankenstein.
Yes.
Yes, what did you think we thought of that?
I watched the trailer.
Mm,
It looked really stupid.
right.
I'm like, This is going to be really stupid and really cheesy and really bad.
Okay.
So on the trailer,
Based on the trailer,
yes.
I'm not going to base it on the trailer because I know what Jim thought of it, but
Ish.
I'm thinking Jim, because it was about zombies, sort of, undead, and it was cheesy, and there was killing, and it was 80s. I think he mondoed that.
There's no freaking way.
I hope he did. And there's no way in hell you would ever go above a meh. So I think you might have met that one.
All right, so we got a meh and a mondo prediction. All right. What else you got?
Out of Darkness, which I also unfortunately saw.
Slept through half of.
Slept through half of.
Goodness.
Um,
So Merman did not like it. Interesting.
if I understood it, maybe. Anyway, we'll get to that later.
Understand?
I don't know. I'm taking a shot here.
All right.
I don't think Jim loved it.
Okay.
I think maybe a meh for him.
Meh for
You, on
Jim.
the other hand, I think it's exactly your kind of
Oh,
creeptastic
interesting.
drama movie. So I
Really?
think you mondoed that.
Mondo. All right.
I'm
Let's.
going to reiterate. I don't give a crap.
Interesting.
And the last one, which I saw just the trailer for.
Mm.
Sometimes I think about dying
Yes.
with Daisy Ridley
Yes.
in her post Star Wars.
Yes.
She looked really weird.
Well,
in that.
post Star Wars. It's been a
Well,
while.
Yeah, but she made her billions from Star Wars.
She made
Now
billions?
now
And billions,
Well, she
I
was the
guess.
star.
Wow.
She must have made something.
She
Now
made bucks.
Now she has to work for a living.
Yep.
Oh. Well, why would she have to work for a living if she's made billions?
I
She
mean,
must be doing this
do-
just for fun
Do
then.
actual movies.
She's got a spending habit.
She can't just show up
Oh.
and wave a lightsaber in front of a green screen. She has to actually do some acting.
I don't think she made billions.
She made some money.
She made a little bit of money.
Coin.
I don't know. It looked really weird. I couldn't even tell you who the guy was. The
Yeah.
opposite. I mean, I'm sure he's
Somebody.
famous.
He's a guy.
He's a
No
guy.
idea. I thought I recognized him, but I didn't.
No, I didn't recognize him. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, let's give Jim a meh for that one.
Meh for Jim, all right.
And I think you mondoed that one.
Ooh, you think I mondoed 2 movies this week? Wow.
And again, I don't really care.
All right, so you got me for meh, mondo, and Jim for mondo, meh. Interesting.
I'm sure you're gonna rage all three of them. now, but
Interesting.
whatever.
Maybe.
Again, I don't-
I've already
Already in
decided.
ink.
It's not that I'm,
It's not like you're going to change it.
I'm not going to change anything.
All right. Well, why don't we talk about the monster in the room, Lisa Frankenstein? Bryce,
Grr.
tell us about Lisa
Arg.
Frankenstein.
If I must.
You must.
All right, not sure what this film was. It wasn't scary, romantic, or funny, which is odd as it has been called a romantic horror comedy. What is it? I do not know. However, I do know that it was very boring. Really, really boring. Diablo Cody wrote this, and I would imagine it was written when she was in junior high, as there is no depth to any character. It is just one disjointed scene after the other, which just makes for a frustrating experience. And why on earth is this called Lisa Frankenstein? Her name is Lisa Swallows, and the monster in this is obviously a zombie and has nothing to do with Frankenstein.
I don't know what movie you saw, but
Exactly.
okay.
See, I think you saw the wrong movie.
Yeah. I
This
think you
movie about I don't know what is a misfire at every turn, although it did make me laugh once when Lisa's stepsister, whose name eludes me because this whole movie eludes me,
Taffy.
says
Laffy Taffy.
half the school is about to take a trip to Boner Town and they don't even know it. That is the one thing that made me laugh in the entire
Nice.
movie. So it did make me laugh once, so it's a man. No, this was a hard rage. This
I'm
was
not
such
surprised.
a piece of garbage. My God, this was awful. There was not one redeeming quality in this whole thing. It was poorly written. It was poorly directed. There was nothing. I'm waiting for something to happen. I'm watching this thing and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Why aren't I falling asleep right now? Because this is awful. Awful. This could not, this literally felt like it was written by somebody that was maybe 13 years old. maybe, and poorly, like an F student, like some
is
student
failing
that has
English? Is that what-
failing English, has no ambition to write a decent script. It's just garbage. I could have written something in 15 minutes that was better than this. There's nothing here, and nothing was connected. It was all disjointed garbage. I hated this movie. Hated it.
Nice. Awesome. Do you want to go next, or you want me to go?
Better. Well, I have slightly better things to say about it than this guy does.
Okay,
so,
well, why don't you go next?
as usual, I completely disagree with Bryce, but that's not really anything new. I was honestly surprised by this film. Based on the trailer, I thought it would be stupid.
Like Bryce said it was.
Like Bryce thinks that it was.
It was.
I should have known better, based on the fact that it was written by Diablo Cody, who I love. Nearly all of her films have that sharp, biting wit and dark comedy.
Until now.
Shut up!
Yeah. Shut up.
I swear I'm gonna turn your volume down.
He's gonna moo-oo.
It's an interesting retelling of the classic Mary Shelley story, infused with teen angst-ridden 1989 vibe, and a style very similar to films like Heathers, Jawbreaker, Beetlejuice, and Edward Scissorhands.
I loved all
In
those
fact,
movies.
while I was watching it, I kept getting flashbacks of Winona Ryder, with twinges of John Hughes films.
Wish I could have had
Hey,
that
shut up.
experience.
As Veronica Sawyer would say, my teen angst has a body count. It's moody, messy, campy as hell. It had everything I love about the 80s, including a kick-ass soundtrack. Catherine Newton delivers probably her best performance, and considering her last film was Quantumania, I was pleasantly surprised. But the only knock against this film was that it was another PG-13 horror film, which I usually despise. I had an awesome time at this film with my bestie Jim. A totally tubular, cowabunga, Mondo.
Nice.
Mondo!
He's
So
owning
there.
that Mondo, Bryce.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Let me tell you about Lisa Frankenstein. I'm going to preface this before I talk about the fact that this is one of those movies that if you see it with your bestie, which obviously Bryce didn't care to do
No,
with
he
us,
didn't.
No.
you will have a much more fun time watching
I
it.
probably would have hated it more
No.
because I would have been rolling my eyes at you two wieners.
Yeah, you would have possibly been rolling your eyes, but you could not help from, as we were rolling on the floor at times laughing.
At what?
Firstly, and this is why I think Bryce was not in the right headspace. Firstly, you must
He has no
suspend.
joy in his heart, that's the
That's
problem.
right. He's like the Grinch, but has a smaller heart.
Yes.
First,
He's the Grinch of movie reviewers.
Yes, exactly. First, you must suspend disbelief about actual science, just like you have to believe that Mary Shelley's Frankenstein could actually happen. Now, also suspend any sense of reality, teenage coming-of-age plots, or anything that might seem real about a Frankenstein monster love story. This story is like Mean Girls meets Heathers meets Twilight meets Pet Sematary meets Wednesday Addams with a soundtrack that was
What did
killer.
you watch?
and some of the creepiest and funniest dialogue and story ideas to come out of Teenageville in a long,
That's
long time.
What movie did you watch?
Apparently, the one that was
A different version
the
from you.
dialogue was freaking hilariously
It was.
funny.
It was not.
It
We
was.
were laughing our asses off the whole movie.
Yeah.
I sat in a theater with about 30 people and there wasn't one laugh in the
Well, then
entire
they're all
movie.
joyless too.
Yeah.
Okay,
Apparently,
were you the only two laughing, by the way?
we were the only two in the movie.
No, there were people behind us. I heard them laugh.
They were laughing.
Okay.
Not as much as Murray and I. I'm not going to lie. There is a lot wrong with this film in its identity as to what it was. So to appoint Bryce on that, it starts out kind of like most teenage rom-com films, but then Lisa fucks a Frankenstein monster and shit got super disturbing. By the time we got to the end, this was totally fucked up. And I'm not gonna lie again, I laughed a lot. In this, especially when our monster, and I'm putting it in heavy quotes here, goes shopping for his Frankenweenie.
That's right.
I wasn't liking the trajectory of Lisa's character as much as the monster himself, which does kind of also follow Mary Shelley's Frankenstein a bit, because it was kind of the same in the original. I also didn't like the professor who created the creatures.
doctor?
The original Frankenstein is a brilliant acting by the one and only mesmerizing.
He's not paying attention.
He's not even paying attention. I'm pointing at Bryce.
Bela Lugosi, right?
No.
Lon Chaney?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
In the original Frankenstein, who is the monster.
I thought it was Bela Lugosi.
It's funny. No, that's Dracula.
Oh.
Bryce.
Lon Chaney? I don't know.
Bryce. Bryce. Bryce.
What was it? I don't know. It was like 1930
He's just
something.
guessing old actors now.
I never saw it. I don't watch old movies.
Bryce. The totally
Still
mesmerizing.
not paying attention.
Yes.
The monster in
Who is in the goddamn movie?
it's the mummy.
Who's the mummy? The hell's his name?
His name's Boris Karloff.
Thank you. God.
It's not Boris Karloff.
Well, who the hell was it then? See, you don't know either.
He doesn't.
No, it's not Boris Karloff.
It's Boris Karloff.
It is Boris Karloff.
Oh
What
my
are you talking
God.
about?
I was just messing with him.
Because it's easy to mess with me these days because I forget everything.
Yeah,
He's
apparently.
literally forgotten everything.
But yeah, no, it's Boris Karloff.
Yeah. So Boris Karloff in Frankenstein, the original, is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
And I'm also in love with him. So I was also in love with the monster in this one.
Okay, keep on going, and then we'll discuss how this was Frankenstein in any way.
We got some unpacking to do. There is some great period piece Easter eggs in this to horror and film of yesteryears from the 1980s. I checked my mind at the door and suspended disbelief, which allowed me to laugh myself into this being a meh. I didn't love it because there was a lot of problems I had with the story itself, but
whole movie's crap.
I did have a joyful adventure and I laughed a lot with my man Mur.
Yes.
Other than Boner Town, there was nothing in
There
this.
was so much funny in
So
this.
much funny. Taffy was awesome.
No.
Laffy Taffy was
Laffy
making
Taffy
me laugh
was
the whole
awesome.
time. The mother who was
I'll give it. The mother was terrible.
She was exactly
was
the character.
No, she was awful.
Her-
The only thing that was mildly amusing in any way was the dynamic between whatever her
Laffy
name,
Taffy?
Laffy Taffy, and the dad. That was it.
That was also
They had
good.
this weird dynamic that was that was almost.
And the reason it's
I
Frankenstein.
wasn't rolling my eyes at a few scenes that they had together, but other than that, this was god awful. This was poorly written.
It was
Says
not. It's
you.
a rom-com. The story is badly written. I'm gonna give that, but there was a lot of good dialogue that made me laugh.
There
in
was.
this.
It was really funny.
This made me laugh a lot.
It was garbage.
I did.
Okay, explain to me how this is Frankenstein in any way.
Because she
what?
was cutting off body
was
parts.
missing body
He was
parts,
missing body parts, and so she
and
took
she sewed them back on.
She took his ear and put it on, and then she put him in the
Yeah, but that's
tanning
not how
bed.
Frankenstein worked. First, you put the thing together, and then you bring it to life.
Yeah, so he
this
brought
was not a Frankenstein monster.
Yes.
This was a zombie that you just sewing body parts
No,
onto.
it wasn't, because the electricity.
totally different.
The
electricity brought him to life.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we just back it up? He was dead.
Yes.
The actual lightning electric current brought him back to life.
Not really.
Yes, that's
it
exactly how
did.
he
He's
came
just
back
a
to life.
zombie.
And then they used the magical electrifying tanning bed
Yes.
to fuse the body
Use the new
parts
body
onto
parts.
his body and made him young again.
Yes.
I don't know where you were missing any of
Exactly.
that. That's exactly what happened.
Movie.
I think there was nobody there to hold Bryce accountable from falling asleep.
That's
And I
right.
think what happened was
I didn't
he was
fall
bored
asleep.
and he felt.
I was bored.
Is this Wienergate all over again?
No.
I think you might have fallen asleep.
I did. Number one, no, I did not. I actually, I think it was like, I don't know. I went to the 120 showing on Monday afternoon because I was like, you know
sounds
what?
like a sleeping kind of scenario. To
I was
me.
like, I'm kind of sick of working, so I'm just gonna go to a movie. So I said, hey, manager man, I'm leaving.
You calling sick again?
And he's no, I was at work.
Yeah.
I said, hey, manager
left?
man. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna leave because I want to go to a movie at 1:20.
And he said, yeah, sure.
And
go
he's
ahead.
like,
Do I have to pay you? No.
he's like,
Get out.
I guess. I was like, cool, see ya.
Wow.
And then I went to like the second worst movie of the year.
No. No. I like this movie.
It was awful.
It was funny.
It was so.
There was a lot of bad in this,
awful.
but there was a lot of bad funny.
There was all bad in this.
It was very funny.
Yeah. Laffy Taffy made me laughy.
Laffy Taffy.
No.
Was probably the nicest cheerleader on film I have ever
Yeah.
seen.
She was
She's-
awesome.
Because every cheerleader I've ever seen in
I'll
any
give
movie,
you that she was okay and the dad was okay and everything else was garbage.
Whatever.
I like the fact that she fucked a dead guy that
Yeah.
had tears that smelled like anus. And
Yes.
she still fucked him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I thought.
And no tongue, apparently.
Yeah. Well, he got a new tongue
Eventually.
from somewhere. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. This movie is obviously not going to be for everybody.
No, it's
As
not.
you see,
It's
we got
for
we
nobody
got the trifecta.
except for you two wieners.
We got a trifecta in this one.
Yeah.
Do you know what the IMDb on it is? Just so you know.
Probably not great.
like 3
no,
or
it's probably
1?
6.
0? Is
Anybody?
it 0?
I was reading reviews.
I'm
I think it
going
was
with
6 or
0.
it's 6 or 7.
I think it's 0. It has to be 0.
After Murray gave it a 10 and I gave it a 7,
Uh-huh.
it's now at a 6.5
There you go.
Well, that's insane.
because it was funny.
It's a decent movie.
What's it in Rotten Tomatoes? Like 12%?
I don't know. I only look at IMDb. That's all that matters.
All right. It's garbage.
All right. Well, we went from that into another monster movie
Yeah.
called
Sort of.
Out of Darkness
Is that, I don't know, is that what it's about? Is it a
Yes.
monster movie?
ish.
Kind of.
45,000 years ago, they didn't have it that easy. And it seemed like everything, including the weather, the elements, other people, and in particular monsters, were out to get you. You get introduced to a very small tribe of possible Homo sapiens Neanderthalensis, made up of a leader of the tribe, his brother, his son, mother of his child, some random elder, and a stray. It's a very basic plot. They left from somewhere and are looking for somewhere to find food and a nice
Yeah, they have
warm
no food.
cave
That
to live
part
in.
I got.
Yeah. Needless to say, shit goes wrong as they are led to a forest, which they all know is a bad idea, but because some quote unquote monster or thing took out the leader's son, he decides to choose to chase after it. The suspense in this is fantastic. They really play the Hitchcock / Jaws suspense card here, as we never really get to find out what our monster is till pretty much the very end of the film. All the while, we slowly lose people through different means, but ultimately because their leader makes bad decisions and puts the entire tribe in harm's way. The music and sound in this is great. The cinematography and lighting is all done very well. The amazing color and darkness saturation scenery, which was each scene taking on a feel and atmosphere all of its own. The film is done in my now second favorite language called Tola, created specifically for this film by our
That was a real
director.
language?
Nope, it's a made up.
Oh.
It's a made up language by our director Andrew Cumming and writers Ruth Greenberg and Oliver Kassman. The suspense is great. We got a lady who kicks ass and punch dicks. We got super idiotic men leaders, and men in general are expendable and edible, apparently. I really like this. I really liked it a lot. In fact, I loved it just a little bit. So it's getting a very low mondo from me. And I got some unpacking to do. But what do you guys
All
think? Mur, what'd you think?
I'll be brief. What the hell is this about?
All right.
Really?
Okay.
I think I slept through half of it,
Oh.
which is further proof I shouldn't do double features anymore. I had no clue what was going on, apart from all the screeching and scary noises.
Yes.
There were subtitles, another bad sign for me. Since I didn't really see enough of this film, I don't really want to rate it. But the parts I did see were a rage.
Okay.
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
I will tell you something about it later.
Like,
once we do some
I
unpacking.
got the general gist of it. They're starving. They're looking for food, and then there's monsters in the cave. Like,
Yeah, that's about it.
I don't know.
You got it.
That's a monster movie.
And a lot
You
of
got it.
screeching.
It's Jaws, but 45,000
I thought you
years
said
ago
you
on
slept
land.
through some of it.
I woke up at the end because there was so much damn screeching. I
You just
eventually woke
described.
up.
You just spoiled the whole movie for everybody.
Whatever.
All right,
I didn't
Bryce.
tell you who lived, did I?
No,
So you don't
or
know
who
that.
died.
Exactly.
What? People lived and died?
Yep.
That's right. They didn't all survive.
Well, what did you
That's
think of Out of Darkness, Brycey?
Well, Out of Darkness looked good enough. The acting was good enough. There are some mildly chilling moments, but its predictability ultimately makes this 87-minute journey seem longer. And its final act reveal didn't do anything for me. I also don't really think that 45,000 years ago would have resulted in these characters being about tolerance and understanding, which seems to be the heavy-handed message. It's a nice message, but it does not belong in this film. This film should have been about one thing, survival, and should have stayed on that path. Still, I didn't hate it. It was meh. Not really much to say about this movie. It was okay.
Well, the reason I think I liked it the most than you two, apparently. So the story behind this is that this is the crossover between the evolution of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that are in the cave, and there's some spoilers, everybody. If you're going to hear this, you're going to hear some spoilers.
The plot said it was Neanderthals, but they all look like they're fully formed humans to me.
Yes. So the ones that is the family of tribe that we're following is the new humans.
Okay.
They're called in, if you're looking at the scientific side of it,
Mm-hmm.
it's called Homo sapiens, and then they have in brackets wise men, and then the Homo sapiens prior to that is the Neanderthalinuses. So the ones that were in the cave was that tribe, and they were dying out.
I thought it was just all one
and
group.
they basically died out. That's what happened to them, because then human race, or the Homo sapien wise men took over.
Not really
I thought the suspense in this was really well done. I thought I liked the darkness of the film, but the way it was lighted, I really liked that you could still see what was going on.
I told you it looked good.
Yeah, of course you did. I also thought the ending was fantastic. I loved the ending because
Did nothing for me.
because at the same time they showed how Homo sapiens did treat the dead, and again, I don't want to spoil who lives and dies at the end, but the lady who kicks ass and punch dick, she does it all the way through the movie. That's what I'm going to tell you. And she did what she had to do at the end, but then she regretted it,
Yeah.
which I think would happen. I think it would happen because I think that was part of showing who her humanity was, and also getting to see that, they maybe were not so different than you and I.
Yeah, that was
evolutionary
I know that
jump.
was the heavy-handed point they were trying to get home, and I just didn't buy it, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought the ending was almost perfect.
I don't know.
But it was still meh.
I don't know if I would have liked it any better if I saw it in the daytime.
was-
I don't know. It wasn't my kind of movie.
It was a low mondo. Because I also like the fact they created a fucking language for it. I gotta have a lot of respect for a director that actually spends the time to write a fucking language for a movie. To me, that's brilliant.
They invented Klingon. for
Yeah, if
Star
it's a good
Trek.
movie,
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I liked
okay.
it. It was a monster movie that wasn't really a full monster movie. It's no spoiler. Everybody who's talking about this
it wasn't the
talks
worst.
about the fact that it's not a real
I
monster.
think I would have enjoyed this last movie better if we'd gone to that instead, but I didn't know where it was playing.
Well,
so,
It was
We're gonna
playing
hear a
at the
little
same theater.
I'll see.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
see?
Sorry, you guys
No.
went. It was playing at the same theater as I went to.
Yeah, well.
Because I was
We went to
all
Landmark.
about Eau Claire this
That
week.
doesn't-
We went to
me.
Landmark.
Yeah, well.
All right,
that's
so-
your problem.
Wait, did you not like the sound in this too? I thought the sound was really
sound
good.
was good.
And the music,
As
the
I
way
say,
they
it was
used
a well-made movie. Considering they were dealing with darkness and everything, that's tough to shoot, and they did it in a very effective
Probably
way.
better than most.
Yeah, so it was very effectively shot. I liked a lot about it. That's why it's getting a meh.
Okay. This was their first directorial debut, by the way.
It was decent. I would definitely go see something by whoever directed this again. Who directed it? I don't know.
Andrew Cumming.
Andrew. Hey, Andrew, I'll go watch your next movie. And I'll be very open-minded going into it because you did good. Just,
Just not great as well.
Great.
Do better next time.
I gave it a low, Mondo, just because there was I did have some parts in it, but I like it.
I get it. I'm watching it. I was thinking this is kind of my type of movie, but it just for some reason just didn't land with me. I just I was annoyed by stuff that maybe I shouldn't have been, but I was.
This was you spending too much time by yourself, and when you do that, you get inside your head and you don't.
That's not true.
You wouldn't have been holding Murray's hand.
I prefer to be by myself.
Believe me,
he says that, but All right, what else did we see?
We saw.
Sometimes
I think about
dying. Which is aptly named, by the way.
This is the story of Fran.
Fran Dresser?
No, I don't know what her last name is. It's just Fran. She thinks about dying from time to time.
Yeah.
She also enjoys cottage cheese on toast.
Or just cottage cheese by itself.
For the first 20 minutes, Fran doesn't utter a word. Not one word.
Nope.
It's not like you.
Yeah. It's kind of like you. It's like
she works in an office where she meets a newly hired Robert. Robert is quite persistent in trying to get to know Fran. Fran doesn't quite know what to make of that. But curiosity lets him into her life. It was nice to see Daisy Ridley in a role that let her show her abilities as an actor. Director Rachel Lambert takes us into this world where nothing especially exciting happens, but everything on the screen is absolutely fascinating. This film was another that seemed kind of custom made for me. I loved every frame of this. I adored every single character. I absolutely loved this movie. There was not one thing I would change about it. This movie was Mondo.
Okay.
Like super duper Mondo.
That was like took a while to sort of drag out of you a little bit. Yeah. Are you just like basking in the movie's afterglow? Is that why? This movie made me happy for like hours after I saw it. I was just so happy after I saw this movie. It was so good. Nice. Well, let me tell you what I thought about it. We'll have some more chit chat upon my expressionism. So, as Bryce has already mentioned, a young lady who lives what appears to be the most mundane life ever, where her favorite food is one of the only cheeses that's actually not a cheese, cottage. She is socially awkward and could basically be invisible to anyone if she didn't take up space in the universe. But on top of that, she works in an office, like any other office, where water cooler talk is topical and could be in any other office in any other small town. And then one of the office ilk retires and a new man, as you've already mentioned. What was his name? Robert. Takes her place. This man has a quirky, dry sense of humor, and he seems different than the rest of the office peoples. Mostly because he said he's never had a job before.
So that came out of the blue. I was like, what?
It was one of the funniest scenes. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. She slowly changes from the invisible lady who spends her days thinking about dying in random ways, like by snake or hanging from a crane or just decomposing in the sea or in the middle of a forest
just laying
for
in the forest.
No apparent reason.
Just dead.
What seems like an unlikely relationship of the most awkward and socially removed person with a man that loves movies and who just might see her a little bit for who she is. They build this chemistry that seems like the complete opposite attract syndrome. She hates his new movie he takes her to, and he seems to possibly be the only person who could ever be possible to put a smile on her face. This is not your typical love/romance film. In fact, it may not even be a love story at all. But it is a story about one person who finds somebody and they spend time together, and she slowly makes change in her life that she probably never thought was possible before meeting this person. And on top of that, it had an absolutely perfect ending to a practically perfect film. Daisy Ridley may have been in the worst trilogy of the Star Wars franchise, but she is brilliant in this film. And our director, Rachel Lambert, in this seems to understand how to take a character and not really change them at all, but allow them to come to life after dreaming about dying for an entire movie. This film, I am still thinking about. I'm still processing it. This film was so brilliant. I also thought it was Mondo.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe how good. Like, I didn't know what to expect going in. I honestly didn't. But
yeah, because the trailer almost makes it look like it's more of a comedy, although there is comedic parts.
Oh, there's stuff where I was laughing my ass off.
It's negative dry.
But,
there's like the scene.
Oh, it's so dry.
Murray, there's a scene in it where they're at this restaurant after they go to this movie, and like the chemistry that's being made between them looks completely awkward and not chemistry, but it is actually chemistry because she'll have a smile on her face when she's saying things, and the delivery of her lines make it seem like, because he says, "What did you think of the movie?" And she's like, "I hated it." And he's like, as if like, without having any tone to his voice, he's like, "This could possibly be my favorite movie of all time," which he didn't mean in any way, shape, or form, but he just said it because it was contrary to what she had. Like, just the dialogue between those two, I could sit and watch them talk to each other for hours.
Yeah.
And, just like most of her life, she sabotages her life like a lot of us do. And the end scene, I don't want to ruin it, but to me, it was a perfect ending. I don't know how you could have ended this any more perfect.
They couldn't have. It was just such a well-written, well-acted, just beautifully shot film. I loved it. And the way that, I don't think I've ever seen anything kind of accurately kind of portray The Office, other than maybe the TV series The Office. This was like The Office, but without the looking into the camera and winking.
Yeah.
It was.
But the humor's all there.
The humor's all there. And
but not humor.
Anybody that's worked in an office can see, like, yeah, that character exists in The Office, and it was very.
Yes, the characters were all well defined.
Yeah.
And yet the humor is not necessarily written to be humor. It's written to make you laugh at the absurdity of life.
It makes me want to hunt down, what's her head? Rachel Lambert's other movie. I haven't seen it, but not only
what it's called. You can tell our listeners.
It's called In the Radiant City, which I haven't seen. And the other thing is, it's got Marin Ireland in it.
Whoa.
Who I just adore. So yeah, I gotta seek this sucker out and watch it.
Well, maybe we should watch it together.
Yeah. So
this time you're watching it with me, so you might ruin the movie for you, obviously.
Possible.
Well, Murray, you know what that means.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yep.
Mondo.
That's exactly what it means.
That's exactly what it means.
Boy, I love that movie.
I did too. I think Murray would have hated it.
I might have enjoyed it.
It was pretty depressing.
A lot better than Out of Darkness.
You like happy stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty depressing.
But you said it was funny.
Well,
it
it's
was
dark,
funny.
dark funny.
Yeah, dark.
I like
funny.
dark funny. I like
You like her too, don't you? You like Daisy.
I do.
Nice.
All right.
She's the best she's ever been in everything I've seen.
She hasn't been in a whole lot.
I don't know. I thought she appeared by magic in Star Wars films, so.
Yeah, but she was actually cast in those, and that's all she did for like 10 years.
That's all she
Since
did
then,
for
I don't
10
know
years.
what else she did after that.
Daisy.
Daisy.
Are you done?
Yep.
Okay then. Love. Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you. Love, life's sweetest reward. Let it flow. It floats back to you. Yeah, that's right. depending on when you listen to this or what day we're pretending to record it, it's Valentine's Day.
Woot woot!
Those of you with a romantic life, a spouse, or even a pet, it might mean something. For lonely old dudes like me, I say bah humbug.
What?
So,
Murray, you can be
for
my Valentine.
the rest of us, I give you movies that are not about love. At least not that mushy kind that maybe you can watch instead of being with humans. First up, Gone Girl. Yeah, I know, a Ben Affleck movie. Which means I'll never watch it.
Ours and
I put it on this list
generation.
for Bryce. While I've never seen it, I hear Rosamund Pike gets naked and kills people. That
Sounds like the movie you want to see.
almost makes me want to watch it, except for the previously mentioned Batfleck. Next up, Lars and the Real Girl.
That's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Gosling and his sex doll.
Nice.
Now that's true love.
Certainly is.
Then we have Fatal Attraction.
That's not love.
That didn't say it was. This film is a warning to any of those married dudes out there. Don't cheat on your wife, or at least make sure it's not with a psycho.
Yeah, I didn't like that
Fresh
movie.
boiled rabbit, anyone?
Hassenpfeffer.
Next up, The Lobster.
Ah, that's awesome.
Yorgos Lanthimos, the new man crush of film rage.
Yes.
Also starring Colin Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
The plot, single people are given 45 days to find a partner. If they don't, they will be turned into an animal. The Lobster is a social commentary about how coupling is at the forefront of many people's minds as a result of all the pressure from society, making it perfect for a romantic cynic. Again, never seen this one, but I heard it was pretty good.
It is Armando.
Yep.
Marriage Story.
Also, Armando.
Again,
That
I
was
never saw
awesome.
this.
So good.
I never saw this, but I lived it. Anybody who ever saw their parents fight and eventually get divorced has been through it. It's a story of a couple trying to negotiate life after apart, but trying to do its best for their kid. Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson at their best, so I hear.
In one of the best
I think
scenes in a movie with couples in it.
I think
for
this
sure.
film would traumatize me even more than I already am.
Possibly.
Kill Bill. If you're looking for a movie that will restore your faith in love and relationships, this isn't it. Uma Thurman is left betrayed and left for dead by her former lover and his hit squad. Revenge, killing, blood, and more killing. Blue Velvet. Blue Velvet is a messed up movie. Every character is the center of a scandal and becomes unable to escape. There are plenty of sex scenes, but for every romantic moment, there are at least two more that are violent and unhinged.
Hey, look. It's an ear.
Much like Dennis Hopper. Heathers. Speaking of Winona Ryder, hands down my favorite movie of hers. Winona's Veronica Sawyer falls for the dark and mysterious JD, played by Christian Slater, and the couple soon go from faking suicides to straight up killing members of the student body. And finally, American Beauty. Kevin Spacey having a midlife crisis in a story in which nobody is happy. Almost every adult is involved in an affair or trying to be. All teenage characters are struggling to expel the baggage of their screwed up parents. It's impossible to watch American Beauty and conclude that getting into any kind of relationship is a good idea, let alone settling down and having kids. And if you're looking for a little horror, I recommend Valentine. My man from TV, David Boreanaz. There's somebody out there killing women, and they think it's him. There's a lot of 90s actresses in it you probably don't like. I think Heigel's one of them. But it's a decent horror movie. Anyway, happy freaking Valentine's Day.
Nice.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
how I love you so. My rage this week has nothing to do with movies. It has nothing to do with anything you guys probably want to hear about it unless you take the bus.
Used to.
Yeah. So for those of us that have to take the bus in the city of Calgary right now, try and find a fucking bus stop that is consistent. Every morning I wake up, I've got to try and figure out where my fucking bus stops, because every other day there's construction change in my neighborhood. And today, of all days, again, I missed my bus because I went to where I thought the bus was going to stop, and it did not stop there. I had somebody walking by and said, "Oh, you're not waiting for the blah, blah, blah number." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." He's like, "That doesn't stop there today." I'm like, "What the hell? It's waiting there 10 minutes.
I had noticed that about your neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's
There's
a lot of construction.
Fucking hate the bus systems in our city, or maybe the communication. Even the app didn't explain it to me.
Personally.
So that's my rage this week.
There you go.
I don't hate taking the bus. In fact, I like it because I don't have to drive. I can listen to stuff. But I don't like it that I don't know. Put signs up that tell people, "Oh, by the way, today the bus isn't fucking stopping here."
The bus makes me angry. Driving makes me angry. I just like to ride my bike.
Try the train sometime.
We're on board with my rage.
Our transit sucks, and I would rather spend the gas and drive.
Which seemed
I hate driving.
like I wasn't going to get any support for this rage. But thank you, boys, for giving me the support I needed.
I didn't have a car for the first 10 years I lived here. I had to take the bus everywhere.
Nice.
Like,
I don't think I supported you in your
transferred
rage.
3 times.
You said you hated the bus.
You didn't disagree.
Yeah, you said you hated the bus. So you're on my side.
It's not for the same reasons.
Just shut up and then let's move on.
That's right.
Whatever.
I'm taking the support.
My rage this week is because I went to the movie last minute. I got charged $15.74 to watch Lisa Frankenstein.
Well worth it.
Well worth every penny.
I paid $0.
That's my rage.
I could support you on that if I hadn't had to buy 5 or 6 movies within the last 4 years because of you. So I'm like, all right. He had to pay money for something.
Exactly. Heavens.
That's like a win for me.
Yeah, this is the same guy who
I could go on about the
loses-
whole deal that it's so stupid that I'm a part of Cineclub or whatever it's called,
Yeah,
the
well.
Cineplex, and I can't get the $9.99 movie even though I'm a part of the club because I didn't buy my ticket online because
There
I
you
don't have a walking around phone, so I
That's
gotta
See,
do it in advance. I can't just
You know what
walk
I'm
up.
hearing about this, actually? Because my rage this week was going to be that Bryce stood me up and forced Murray to have a double date with me. But then I had so much joy with having Murray there. I was like, whatever, Bryce can pretend he's sick. all he wants.
my rage is having to sit through Out of Darkness because Bryce bailed on us. I was only going for the one movie.
You don't get a rage.
I do so get a rage.
Oh, you know what?
So my rage is Bryce. There you go.
There you go. I'll jump on that bandwagon. Wait, sorry, was this your rage?
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim finally chose a film from Bryce's rage bag that Bryce thought may never get picked. The 2011 beast of a teen romance film, aptly named Beastly. This week, both Jim and Bryce can choose to rage or dare or Casey. And rumor has it that my bag is almost empty. Makes you want to empty it, doesn't it, boys? Well, doesn't it? Now let's check in with Jim and see how beastly can actually be. Well, we're waiting.
I love that man. I'd have his babies if I had a uterus. That's all I'm saying. All right, so Beastly. The music was poopy, except for one song by the Hives, which actually made me a little bit joyful because I kind of like the Hives. And they have a 30-something playing a high school student, which kind of threw me off, where he is so full of himself. His green initiatives for his resume is vote for me. I'm rich, beautiful, and popular. And then after meeting who I assume is one of the most annoying people that has ever appeared in any movie ever, we settle into a story not unlike every other typical teenage film featuring Mary-Kate Olsen or other adjacent type child star turned teenage star turned 20-something has-been. It's got paper-thin characters who by all rights would never talk to our lead or anybody that's part of the lead fucknuts family, who's so full of himself, but yet the story requires that they'd still do talk to him for whatever reason, which nobody would. Well, one does. The other, Mary-Kate, who's a witch, I guess, and casts a spell on him by saying, "Best embrace the suck." That's her curse.
Oh,
Best embrace the suck.
I don't know what that means.
It was a magic phrase. Just get used to it. You should probably
Did it make
best
him
embrace it.
beastly?
It made him a little beastly.
Nice.
So then he gets ugly and has to get someone to love him in a year or stay ugly forever. Personally, I thought he kind of looked like Post Malone, so I didn't find him all that ugly. Blah, 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 Beauty and the Beast, blah, 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 hated everything in this film and everything about this movie, except that Neil Patrick Harris is hired as a blind tutor, which made this almost watchable because he was in it for about 5 minutes.
Oh.
But no, it is not watchable, Bryce.
No.
Not at all.
No.
But I did. I watched every second of it.
Of course you did. You're a professional.
Yet he never teaches him, the tutor, and he doesn't go to school. So I was a little confused as to what happened to his high school diploma for over that year. Oh, well, the story about high school stopped making sense. So this must have changed direction to a love story. They didn't talk about high school anymore. It was a love story. Or should I say a stalker story? Yes, he basically stalks this girl that had no right to like him in the first place. And in the end, everything works out just like every other teenage fairy tale romance film, with me annoyed, full of rage, and Bryce, I hate your fucking guts. Oh, and as a surprise, it took me right up until the end to realize that the main star in this was also the star of those god-awful fucking High School Musical films known as High School Musical 1, High School Musical 2, and High School Musical 3. Bryce, you are gross.
Yep.
This film was almost as gross as you, and it's also a huge rage. I hated this movie. It was so terrible and painful, and I had to go through another High School Musical without any singing, and seeing her in it also made me want to throw up a lot.
Yeah, the only disappointing thing, it was only an hour and 26 minutes.
That was the only good
I really wish it was longer.
That was the only good thing in
It's
this
the only
movie.
thing that I was like, oh man, I know how awful this is, but it's only an hour and 26 minutes.
Could they not have stretched
They
this out a
needed to
little
stretch
longer?
this out. We need
This
to.
is really, really, really bad. Like,
I know.
I
saw it in theaters, Jim.
I can't believe this is so Murray. This is so bad.
I don't doubt it.
It's so like
it's
so.
god-awful.
My wife couldn't even watch 5 minutes of it. Like, she can usually last 5 minutes, and she was like, she always does it like it's a surprise to her. Why are you watching this?
It's like, you know why I'm watching
You know
this.
why I'm watching this. We're not called Film Rage for no reason. This movie is so completely awful. And yeah, Mary-Kate Olsen is also awful in this.
Where's
It's
her
like-
sister? They're in everything together.
No, they're
No,
not.
not
Not
in
in this
this.
one.
Well, there's your
Yeah,
problem.
she
Should have been two of them.
Yeah, if there was two of them, it might have been twice as terrible. But who knows? Yeah, this was good choice for this.
Yes.
All right,
I've been waiting on this for a long time. That sucker's been in my bag for like gotta be year and a half.
1 year. Okay, where's Casey's bag? Let's get this.
Oh, you weren't doing one.
We're
this
doing
week.
Casey?
Yeah.
Top.
You didn't even ask.
Oh, he's got a whole bunch in here. The bag's not empty.
No.
Let's go to Murray. We haven't got a Merman bag of rage. Here, Mur, why don't you
We
pull
doing
us out one?
Merman?
Yeah, we got.
Okay, let's
Casey's
do
got
Merman.
stuff. Unless, how did they magically get in there? Last time I looked, there was like one or two. Now, just for everybody so that you know, we will not be having Rage or Dare next week because unfortunately I'm traveling on business. So we might not even have me next week. Who knows what happens?
Business/party, whatever.
That's right.
Okay. I thought it was blank, but oh, for crying out loud, Merman.
I already love what this is going to be.
It's my mother loves this movie.
There you go.
Nice. I'm listening.
It's not red. It's red too.
That's right. Because I liked the first one.
He also knows that you'll hate it.
Yes, of course
But
you will.
unfortunately, I might not hate this as much as Bryce.
Oh,
I'm-
you're gonna
I'm
hate
trying
this.
to.
I've seen it.
You can't have watched this and not hated it.
I don't remember hating it, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it now.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Nice.
I'm trying a new concept.
What is this new concept?
I used to look at the dollar bins to get DVDs,
Mm-hmm.
but this time I just went straight to Tubi because stuff you can watch for free.
There's so much good Tubi to make us
This one
rage.
might have been just top of my head kind of a thing.
Well, but the thing is that Bryce should really not show his hands too much because a lot of times we can pick some really good.
I
great
know
stuff
exactly who he
by
hates.
listening
It's
to
not
you.
hard to pick movies with people that he hates.
I love everybody.
No, you don't.
Especially you.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
Oh man,
I love
times.
everybody.
time.
Especially you. I love everybody. Especially you. I don't know the next line.
that's okay.
Mr. Rogers.
Well,
that's why I love it.
Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer, the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 please make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.